Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you're new. Like the video if you like the video. And I won't tell if you click that bell. So let's get into this. The Giants have decided to bring in Russ Callaway from LSU. He was an offensive assistant down there, and he was the offensive coordinator for Sanford for 2018, 2019, I'm pretty sure. 2018, Sanford had the highest passing yards in the entire FCS. They were absolutely on fire. They had a game against Florida State, and some people call Florida State DBU, and Duck Hodges, who's on the Steelers now, and the rest of their offense didn't really have much issues. They ended up turning the ball over a little, but at the end of the day, they didn't really have much issues moving the ball up and down the field. And that says something as an FCS team to really come in striking distance of Florida State, which is no joke of a school. And as I said, usually has a lot of prospects that come out pretty much on a regular. And, you know, he came to LSU. And as an LSU fan, I saw him as someone that was coming in while Joe Brady was leaving. And he was eventually, you know, meant to come and take that spot that Joe Brady left open. He was just an offensive assistant, but you saw that he was starting to put his fingerprints on that offense. He's a guy that specializes in the red zone. And after this year, I mean, Coach O raved about him. Coach Orgeron at LSU, the head coach for LSU, raved about him and said that he's a guy that he sees that can be a college coach, college head coach, or, you know, an offensive coordinator very soon. I was thinking it would be for LSU, but as much as it sucks to see him leave, for him to leave and come to the Giants, that's incredible, man. That's incredible because he's going to bring those innovative concepts, those, you know, new kind of plays that we do not run because we have a fossil of an offensive coordinator, Jason Garrett. He's not the oldest guy, but he sure does coach like it's, you know, 15 years ago, because that's the last time he was strictly an offensive coordinator. So I'm so glad to see him come in here. I think he's going to bring a lot of new downfield concepts. You pair him with Rob Sale, who was an offensive coordinator last year, I think. Freddie Kitchens, who served as the tight ends coach for the Browns, worked his way up to offensive coordinator. Eventually, you know, became head coach and was calling plays. He did that next year for them. Didn't work out, but I think that he has some talent as a play caller, you know, given him not being a head coach at the same time. When you look at all of these guys built together, Jason Garrett is on a short leash, first of all. And second of all, if Jason Garrett is open to criticism and open to listen to other people's opinions, this offense could really see some great changes in it. I mean, if you look at the fact that Terrace Marshall was coming out of this draft, it kind of doesn't match up to draft him where we're picking. But maybe if we were to trade up, maybe, you know, who knows? I actually just saw a rumor saying that the Falcons and the Lions were looking to trade out of their spots. So just imagine if they both trade out of their spots and for some reason teams trade up to take quarterbacks. There's only, you know, 5 quarterbacks that can go. But imagine, you know, the Falcons take Kyle Pitts and who knows? These teams could trade out and we could possibly be within striking distance of Jamar Chase, which seems like we're not. But guys, never say never. Never say never. Now, he didn't coach Jamar Chase. Callaway did not coach Jamar Chase, but he is familiar with him. He has a lot of resources to know guys who have coached him. And I would love to see that. And one thing I'm also kind of underrating is the Panthers have Joe Brady, and he coached Jamar Chase. But back to what, you know, he's going to bring to this offense. They were consistently, Sanford, back when he was the offensive coordinator, they led, they were, I think, top 3 or 4. And as far as first downs, they were top 3 or 4. And red zone percentage, this is a very productive offense. And I said, like, they're going against teams like Florida State and putting up points when they're not supposed to be competitive. Teams schedule FCS teams, you know, in order to basically just get free wins, to warm up for the season. And for them to go out and compete the way that they did, and for, you know, Duck Hodges, who's not really that great of a quarterback, he's a backup right now, for him to win, I think it was the Walter Payton FCS Player of the Year award or something like that. that just shows how great of a coach he is. He was, like I said, on the fast track. He was on the fast track. He was basically the Joe Judge of LSU, how Joe Judge was in the Patriots. He was the guy that they thought would be that offensive coordinator, that innovative mind, the guy who would eventually become a head coach of a power, of a Power 5 program, and, end up going to the NFL. And I guess he's decided that he doesn't want to go that college route. He'd rather just, stick his foot in the door in the NFL. I'm not sure if he's going to take any kind of a pay cut to do this, but he's getting his foot in the door for the NFL on the Giants, with probably an opportunity in the next couple of years to be the Giants offensive coordinator. And I would absolutely love it. I loved what I see on tape at Samford, and I loved what we saw from the offense last year. Now, we had kind of like shaky quarterback play for LSU. There was a ton of guys in there, so it was hard to build consistency. But he definitely had his fingerprints all over that offense when it was being productive. There's a lot of young, great players that are there at LSU that he got to coach. And first off, we're going to have that advantage scouting this year and next year for some of the players that he's coached. And second of all, just watching what he did last year with guys like Terrace Marshall. Again, he wasn't designing every play, but he had his fingerprints on it. He wasn't an assistant down there, but he wasn't designing those plays. But he had some, he had hands in doing it. So for him to come up to the Giants, it makes me very happy. I think we got one of those guys who can possibly be that game changer type of coach in the NFL, who hopefully, I'm just saying this because this is the track that happens. Hopefully we see him as a head coach somewhere in the next 5 years, because that would mean that he really transformed this Giants offense, and he's got guys under him that are ready to step up. That's the same way I feel about Patrick Graham. I hope that he gets a head coaching spot in the next 3 or 4 years, because that will mean that he's done such a great job and our defense was playing so well that, teams felt that this guy was deserving of a head coaching spot. So, awesome hire, great hire. It sucks for LSU, but we're all about the Giants here, and I'm happy that he's here. I really am. And I think this is just more evidence that Jason Garrett's days are numbered. Whether this offense turns around this year and he gets hired, whether, he just gets fired because the offense looks horrible, something is going to happen. I do not see Jason Garrett coaching the Giants next year, at the offensive coordinator position. I do not see him coaching here. So hopefully we'll see Callaway as the offensive coordinator for next year. He's probably up there with Freddie Kitchens and maybe Rob Sale as guys who would be considered. But I think that he's our guy of the future. So those are my thoughts on him. A little bit of an insider take, because I saw him at LSU, or, what he might have had his fingerprints on. But I like the hire. You guys let me know what you're thinking. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 Squad member. If you're a D6 Squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams. So if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know. And have a good one.